As a faith-based organization, we've observed with keen interest and utmost resolve to ensure free, fair, credible, secure, and inclusive elections in 2023. We have done this with generous approval from the Candidate Bishops' Conference of Nigeria and INEC that accredited 6,000 observers for our organization and have sent in reports across the 36 states of this federation, including the FCT. These 6,000 accredited observers, in addition to over 10,000 other citizen observers, have sent in their structural reports detailing trends of logistics preparations, deployment of sensitive and non-sensitive materials, the use of beavers machines for voter accreditation, verification and actual voting, the subsequent electronic transmission of results and other electoral behaviors displayed at the polls. Our position primarily summarizes outcomes of all these at the polling units and ward collation centers. While full details of our report will be disseminated shortly, we present the following statement which officially articulates our impression of the entire electoral process as follows. B. Arrival of materials and INEC officials across the country in polling centers. It is with deep regret to announce our total disappointment with the snail-paced deployment of sensitive and non-sensitive materials in more than 50% of the 176,606 polling units across the country. It is not only disheartening to imagine that after the declaration of coffee before the election and accompanying empty roads and streets, INEC official and security personnel were unable to reach more than 60% of the polling units nationwide before 12 p.m. While this happened, excuses from INEC have been unjustified. The paucity of proactiveness on the part of the national commissioners responsible for logistics and voter education. As we noted in our earlier press briefing, there are reports signaling sabotage and crass complicity, and some state officials made the arrival of materials difficult in order to gain some political advantage for their parties. The destruction of the roads leading to some opposition stronghold in Kogi State, for instance, not only amounts to subliminal crime of some sort, but must be treated as an economic sabotage of the highest proportion, designed to derail the electoral process. In the Federal Capital Territory, we noted with utter amazement the poor deployment of materials to polling units, whose distance is not more than 5 kilometers from the FCT Commission Office. This is unsatisfactory and unacceptable coming from an INEC. C. Accreditation and verification of voters. In itself, the bimodal voter accreditation system beavers is not good, it's not bad, and we commend INEC for this great innovation. Having worked in some countries and in recently conducted elections in Ekiti, Osun, and Anambra, indeed, it is very good and innovation, and this introduction to our voter authentication is a great feat. However, the unprecedented and evil manipulation of the system in more than 30% of the polling units indicates a systematic ploy by INEC to compromise the precedent set by the well-meaning Nigerians through the struggle and puzzle that led to the passage into law of the 2022 Electoral Act. Otherwise, how do we explain, for instance, the deployment of one beavers machine in polling units having more than 2,000 voters who had waited for more than 5 hours in long queues without the sight of INEC officials? It is even awful to receive complaints from presiding officers who insisted that they were given wrong codes and uncharged batteries for the BVAS machines in most rural areas observed. In addition to the above, how can we explain the snatching of the BVAS machines in some polling units under the watch of policemen and other security architecture, and the threat of death issued to presiding officers and agents who dare question the talks? With about 4 years of preparation for the 2020 elections, it seems there are no justifiable reasons to placate the impact of this malfunction of the BVAS. The idea of the usage of the BVAS machine for this particular election is not only embarrassing, but an insult to the sensibility of Nigerians who waited under the rain and the sunshine and still got disenfranchised because of the colossal incapacity to use the BVAS correctly. Voting. There is no gainsaying the fact that a great deal of Nigerians were disenfranchised arising from the malfunctioning of the BVAS, sheer political thuggery, and daylight disruption of the voting process. While this elsewhere, our particular displeasure rests on how INEC officials colluded with policemen and some state authorities to massively print ballot papers unhindered in places like Lube, Abuja, Apapa, Lagos, Obiapo, Rivers, and some parts of Katsina, Kano, and Gombe states. In some instances, sensitive and non-sensitive materials were burned by dogs. Voters and observers were beaten to stupor in the full glare of security personnel who not only watched this happen, but participated in the tirade in some polling units in Lagos, FCT, Delta, Rivers State, and the rest. Additionally, cases of underage voting were noted in most parts of Gombe, Kano, and Katsina states under the handling of trained INEC officials. The alleged killing of presiding officers in Edo and Rivers State because of refusal to compromise the integrity of the process reflect an untold story of how not to conduct general elections under the watch of supposedly same professors and state governors. Again, in this modern times and age, how can one successfully explain network glitches as reasons for the inability to have a seamless transmission of election results within 72 hours after voting? The jamming of the network by the ICT unit of INEC National Office indicates utter ignorance and insensitive incompetence, assuming we want to undermine other reasons such as collusion and complicity. To say the least, while some polling units experience relatively peaceful voting process, the odious happening in the other places noted above leave incredible marks in our pursuit for a reasonable and sustainable democratic process. Concluding remarks. We encourage and commend the patriotism and resilience of Nigerians to achieve a peaceful conduct of the general election so far. We also want to strongly advise that this is maintained and that the high spirits should not be dampened by naysayers. As remarked 3 days ago while launching our studio room, we also reaffirm once more that the INEC has the responsibility to organize and deliver a free, fair, credible, secure, and inclusive election. While the hope and trust that Nigerians have on them is arguably dashed, we cannot but state more unequivocally that things are beginning to fall apart. This is not the path we have desired, having risen from the shattering wreckage done by the dictatorship before 1999. Arising from this, therefore, we recommend with immediate effect that ballot audit, fresh conduct of elections in areas where overwhelming violence took the day, and the seamless overhauling of most of the commissioners of the INEC must happen to avert civil disobedience. Once again, we call on Nigerians while we await the outcome of the polls to remain calm and disciplined and remain also convinced that a new Nigeria is possible. To this, we ask God for His grace through Christ our Lord.
Amen.